Baby dear. Yeah, baby dear. She's like, she quit looking at me. She's not into it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my, I almost said sister. One of my best friends, Jess of Jkissa. Hi. I'm at her house using her studio. If you are not aware of who she is, I'm judging you, and also you can subscribe to her via the link in my down bar. So on my channel, we are doing 5 of the most popular hyped makeup products that are worth the hype, and on Jess's channel, we are doing 5 popular makeup products not worth the hype. It's not happening. So anyways, if you guys enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to head to Jess's channel to check out the worst products. Let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I feel like, I can't find the correct camera angle. Wait, okay, there. I feel like this was really raved about, but for good reason. I know it had a lot of mixed opinions, but in my opinion, although the shadows are a bit dry, they're definitely some of the most pigmented ones that Too Faced makes. I feel like with a lot of their palettes, they can be too dry and too chalky and kind of be hard to blend, especially the browns for me. So I feel like this was really, really worth the hype, and all the shades seem to work on a wide range of skin tones. There's not really anything in here that is too light across the board or too dark. There's like a great mix across the palette, so yeah. The only thing that is a little weird to me is how strong the smell is. Oh, I agree, yeah. I feel like I can just smell it permeating down from my eyes, and it's sometimes a bit much.
Have you seen they're coming out with a matte one as well. Have you seen that?
Not yet, but I'm here for it.
I am too.
Give me the matte.
I'm really excited about that.
Give it to me.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about an eyeshadow palette since you did. This is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. I'm sure you have heard about this. You may even own it, and I definitely think it is worth the hype. I think the palette itself is really cohesive in tone. You have shimmery shades, you have your matte transition shades that are going to be so beautiful and so warm, and then you have your deepening shades. And if you are familiar with me, you know I love orange eyeshadow, even though I'm literally not wearing it today.
And I love that there's like a mustard quadrant and then the reds. It's a really good mix, and I think a lot of people don't realize that it's warm, but it's not all red. There's a lot of good brown variations, so it makes it easy.
Then there's even like this little buon frescoes, like a little bit more cool toned, which I think balances the palette really nicely.
Okay, moving into some highlighters, some face products. I'm going to start with the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops. These are in the shade Halo. When I first saw these on Instagram, Trend Mood, coming in with the swatches, they were, in my opinion, very intense, and I thought it was going to be like the original, what was there, like 4 or 5?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
and then there was 2 bronzers.
Yeah. They were so intensely metallic, so I was like, if this is that intense, it's going to look really white on the tops of the cheekbones. It's going to kind of limit it to the types of skin tones that can use it, but these are so subtle and so pretty. I feel like it just gives you the most natural, translucent, pearly wash. It's like clear with a little hint of blue and purple in it. It's so beautiful.
One of my favorites is Blossom, and I know you, I know you just mentioned it in your recent favorites video, but I love to wear Blossom as a blush, and when we went to that Cover FX event, they put Blossom on my cheeks, and I was like,
so beautiful.
It's one of my favorite blushes.
And I love Blossom in this one in particular from the range, because I feel like they're both, I feel like Blossom might be the more pinky tone version of this, because they're not glittery. They both have that translucent effect where you don't really see it until you turn your head, which is my thing.
And I would say Halo and Blossom are the 2 that I use the most from the whole range.
Hi Eva. This is who's been barking. She's nervous.
The product I'm going to talk to you about next, I've gone through almost, I think this might be my 3rd bottle, so I definitely adore it.
I love it.
This is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I don't wear foundation, so this is such a gorgeous product to add luminosity to the skin without, it doesn't have glitter, which is so nice, and I love to wear it every day. If you do want to prime with this, I think it would be a good primer. It isn't sticky or tacky either, which I find is nice. Since I am not putting anything over this, I don't really need that effect, and I just love it for the luminosity and the glow within that it gives your skin.
I agree. It gives like a really natural, not sweaty vibe, but just a natural kind of like hot weather summer skin vibe, and I really love it because of that. It's just nice and smooth and natural. Okay, so on the subject of highlighters, I have a palette that's quite new to me, and that is the Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette. I feel like this is getting a lot of attention right now, and in my opinion, the cream shade over here is my favorite because you can, I'll show you in swatches laid over, but you can apply it alone and wear it as the cream base, and then you can add the powder over it, which is what it's intended to be used as. And what makes it worth the hype for me is that it stays invisible on the skin until you turn your head. And a lot of times I feel with powders like this, where you can just see that they're kind of metallic and really pigmented, they tend to really show up on the skin as like a big bar of highlight. And I feel like these have that metallic quality, but somehow are still really invisible and wearable and not chunky. So I'm into it.
I was swatching the it's not liquid, I guess it's more so of a cream, and
yeah,
it doesn't feel greasy. It feels like a really nice quality, not too thick and not too thin. It's like a medium consistency, I would say, and it feels, yeah, it felt really nice on my hand.
It is really nice. And another thing I like about it is that it kind of feels dry until you rub your finger on it and warm it up. So I feel like it's just going to look really beautiful on the skin throughout the day because of that. It's not really going to sit on top of it. It's just going to sink in, become one with your skin.
I'm going to talk about a concealer this time. I don't know if you've used this, but this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I remember it was so hyped up until kind of the Tarte Shape Tape came out, but I still love this concealer. I have gone through endless tubes of it. It just gives you the most beautiful, I think radiant is a perfect way to describe it, radiant finish under the eyes. It is buildable, so on days where my dark under eyes are really out to play, I can build it up, and then on days when I've gotten enough sleep, you can definitely just do one coat and it'll be so nice on the skin. I can't say enough good things about this, actually.
I know. My favorite part about it is that I feel like it's the OG Shape Tape because it has that same quality where once you start to blend it out, it just blends itself out. And I've noticed, like, when I take it over the cheekbone, dog hair is flying everywhere, on days that I want just like a really natural makeup look and add some setting spray, it really does have that luminosity that really rings through. And I have very dry under eyes personally, so I find that it just makes me look 12, which I really appreciate. Moving into face stuff like blushes and bronzers, one new one that I feel has gotten just so much hype is the Becca Sunlit Bronzer. My favorite shade is Capri Coast. These are just the perfect satiny bronzer. A lot of times I find with satiny bronzers, there's no in between. They're either so pigmented and a little bit illuminating or slightly illuminating with no pigment. This one is like the in-between. It's definitely very easy to work with, really soft powder. I find that it doesn't stick down on the face at all. With a lot of bronzers, especially more dense ones, they tend to stick down where you first apply them, and then it's just very hard to blend out. I find that this one doesn't do that. It also comes in a lot of great shades, so
I agree. I agree with everything you say. I love the shade Bali Sands. It's like
the lighter one?
Yeah, it's the lightest one, and I feel like it could potentially be a dupe for Hoola Light. I'm testing that out. But I definitely do love that bronzer, and I think it's the perfect bronzer because I was mentioning in my recent favorites video that sometimes bronzers can make me look like one giant freckle, and that one doesn't do it.
It doesn't do that.
I want to talk about a brand right now that I think is really hyped up for good reasons, and that is Nude Sticks.
Yes.
You love it.
My favorite.
I love it. We go shopping for nude sticks all the time. I have a lot of products, and everything I've tried from them I have instantly fallen in love with. You wore Terra Magnetic Matte Eye Color, and I picked it up because of you, and it's literally so easy to just throw on the eye, and I even blend it out with my finger, and it works really nicely. I have the shade Boho on my lips today.
So pretty.
And that's actually from their Babe Boss little kit that came out with a bunch of influencers, and the magnetic matte lip colors are actually my favorite from them. I think that they work so beautiful, they stay for so long, they're not overly drying, but they're not going to move around either.
They're like the dream velvety liquid lipstick in a pencil, and I feel like because they're in a pencil it gives you that control, whereas with liquid lipstick, for me, usually I have to line my lips and go over with the liquid lipstick, and if you use too much it just becomes a sticky kind of tacky situation. And with those it stays really soft and velvety all day long, like all day.
Agreed. And you get so much product too, like I feel like you can never go through this amount.
I know, and they're so pigmented that you kind of just slap them on and you don't have to spend time building it up, so definitely worth the hype.
Are you wearing one today too?
Yeah, I'm wearing Posh. It's my favorite. I wore it in my last video. It's so comfortable. It's like, even though it's kind of glossy, it really just lasts all day. I've been drinking way too much matcha tea this morning and it's just stayed on the entire time, so I much appreciate. Moving into some blushes, the new, I almost said Ofra Cosmetics, not true. Physicians Formula Butter Blushes have been very hyped up. I've been seeing them all over the internet. How many times do you think I've said hyped up in this video?
So many.
It's
Between
just,
both of us, yeah.
I think these are definitely worth the popularity because they're very soft, super light pigmentation, in my opinion, just like the Butter Bronzer. I appreciate these for being so lightly pigmented. With blushes sometimes, I feel like there's a fine line that needs to be treaded. Tread? I don't know the pluralization of that. Excuse me.
Tread. Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows at this point. But if they're too pigmented, it's just a little bit of a shit show on the face, kind of like the slap cheek vibe, which I often enter into.
Oh, so do I.
You know, and I just work with it. But with these, I feel like you can never really make a mistake. They're perfect for those of you who might be new to makeup or branching out into different blush colors. This one in particular is the shade Plum Rose. It's a cool-toned purpley nude. I feel like it's really great because it's not so pigmented. It doesn't really make me look dead or kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Almost like gray beige, like grayish.
Yeah, desaturated.
Yeah.
Still lets me look like I'm living, you know?
I hope they come out with more colors because there's only 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, there's not a lot.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll come out with more colors because I think that would really be nice to diversify the shades a little bit.
And there is a peach one in the line, just putting it out there, that can be an illuminator. It's
I
like
agree.
the softest, prettiest illuminator. Smells so nice.
Okay, so the last product I want to talk about is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder, and I personally bought this because of how much I was seeing it online, and I definitely think this product is really nice. What I love about Cover FX is they really work on making stuff not only cruelty-free, but they do a lot of vegan, and they have gluten-free products, which I know is great for you.
Yes.
Talc-free, it's so amazing. And my only qualm is there are 2 shades. This is Translucent Light, and I believe they have Translucent Deep. So maybe they could bring out a few more shades. I think that would be really nice. But other than that, this is such a gorgeous powder. It works flawlessly under the eyes. It doesn't add dryness to that area either. And if you have a spot and you kind of powder the spot, it's just not gonna cling to it, you know?
I noticed that too when I've been using the RCMA, not the no color, but the translucent one, and I love it under the eyes, and it's very hydrating. But if I have, like, I always get dry around my chin. If I use it there, it tends to really emphasize those areas. But that powder is very hydrating, not in a greasy sense, and it really just kind of, it like hugs your dry spot without making it stand out or look kind of cakey and gross, you know?
I agree.
Alright guys, so that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ava,
Thanks for having me.
her moment. You're welcome.
Bye, Ava.
Yeah, if you guys want, we would love to hear your...
So much
There's
dog hair.
so much hair, I'm literally gonna die. If you guys want, you can leave your favorite or best, most hyped products, because I feel like we both are always on the lookout.
Oh, for sure.
We have a little bit of a purchasing problem.
And now that we're together
judge.
in LA, we're like...
It's like that's all we do when we're together is go shopping. It's a little bit of an epidemic in a good way. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out Jess's video for the worst prods, and I'll see you on my next one.
I'm like, do you say bye?
That's all I say.
Bye.